Hey everybody, I am the Mighty Plantain. Got Boosh on board again today. We're going to check out something from Clown Shoes Brewing. I don't think we've done too many clown shoes together. I've done a lot solo.
We've done a couple, but
yeah.
I think, but who knows?
They're a great brewery, and they have some really interesting beers. This is actually Archdruid. It's a red ale aged in Irish whiskey barrels. So we should get some really interesting notes from that. Irish whiskeys are typically blended whiskeys, so you're not going to get a distinct flavor from any particular one except for the blend characteristics, and they each have a distinct flavor based on the blend rather than the actual aging and brewing and distilling process. So Irish whiskeys are very nice, but they don't tend to have very distinct flavors as opposed to your Scotch whiskeys, your bourbons, or your American whiskeys. So just my opinion on that, but by no means are they inferior because of that. Irish whiskeys are all very awesome. But anyway,
I haven't actually tried many Irish whiskeys, so
they're not as popular with us. Not as popular in this area either, but
right. I've been thinking of actually trying some Jameson, but just because I've seen they've been on sale here once in a while, but not too much. But
yeah, they're definitely worth checking out, and they're very solid family of whiskeys. I like them. So anyway, enough about that. This should have some really great characteristics from the wood in the barrels and the whiskey that was in there before. Love barrel-aged beers, and Clown Shoes never disappoints. So I'm going to borrow your Sam Adams bottle opener.
Right ahead.
Seems to be one of your favorites. I keep trying to use a different one. You throw this one at me every time.
Well, you get one there that just doesn't, and it's the only one, and it's the only one that just, and it's one of those generic type deals. So
I hear you. All right,
but I think you got one of those though.
Tucked away somewhere. I'm gonna try to put a good head on these.
I've got another one at home that I'm gonna actually, if I can remember the next time, bringing it in.
We'll just keep it around, so I have to lug your keys around every time we do a beer review.
That's right.
Sounds like a plan. Ooh, I think I'm gonna get a better head on yours this time.
Yeah, you kind of glugged it a little bit.
I got to get the hang of that. I'm always afraid that I'm going to get too much of a head on it, overflow the glass.
Right,
so
right.
I got to be careful of that.
Right.
This is definitely a red ale. It's got that distinct color to it. It's actually slightly cloudy. Not very effervescent.
Archdruid.
But it's got a very nice sheen to it. Very nice color. I don't know if you can see that. It's almost a caramel red. A red caramel color. Should be good.
It's almost like it almost has like a creamish color to it.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking a red caramel, but I can see the creamy characteristics there.
Especially in the bottom of the glass right here.
I think the cloudiness is really making it look.
There is actually some cloudiness to it. Actually, is making that difference. It almost has that nitro look to it, but not quite.
Yeah, the head would be very different if it was close.
Well, the head would have actually been pretty good, but
I see what you're saying. It's got that creamy look
as far as like
itself.
Right.
Not getting much off the aroma.
Getting just a regular beer smell, wouldn't you say?
Maybe some really, really slight toasted notes there from the wood.
And you can tell it's not very hoppy as far as the smell goes.
Yeah, so not much coming through in the aroma, just some slight toasty notes maybe. But
but actually it looks like a really good, solid beer, actually.
Mm-hmm. Wow, bottoms up.
Yes.
Whiskey. I'm getting a very distinct whiskey taste off of that.
So am I.
I think part of it is that I'm also getting the sourness that I associate with a high alcohol by volume beer, which makes me question
what the actual content is.
9%, so it's up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
Not in the double digits, but it's up there.
It's up there. It's a good, and you can definitely taste it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why you couldn't really get that much of a head on it. was because of that. You're getting a lot of... It definitely does taste the whiskey. I don't know really about Irish, because I really haven't had any Irish whiskeys at all. And, I mean, we pretty much just had... I've had Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and
Johnny Walker,
Lefroy, and a couple other scotches, but that's about it. But this actually makes me want to try some regular Irish whiskeys now.
And you got that whiskey flavor in your mouth, and
that's really it. It is a different flavor. Because we've tried all kinds of other beers that were aged in bourbon barrels, wine barrels, all kinds of different ones. But as far as the Irish whiskey, you can tell there is a whiskey flavor, and it tastes different than any other of the whiskeys that you may have tried.
Exactly. This beer has really picked up a lot of the whiskey characteristics, I think, from the barrel, and it fades to a general woody toastiness in the aftertaste. That's primarily what I'm getting from it. I'm not really getting much in the terms of the hop profile or anything from the malt. Ooh, pardon. It's almost like a beered up whiskey.
Right. Now, what I'm kind of wondering, though, is because some of your Irish whiskeys, they get barrels that have already been used by some of, like, Jack Daniels and the American whiskeys. I'm wondering if that's where that came from.
Possibly. You got to figure this is a secondary or tertiary, honestly, use of those barrels, because if it is a reused barrel that's had the Irish whiskey aged in it and then turned around and put the beer in there, so it's a tertiary.
Did they use it before? Because a lot of the Irish whiskeys have used like bourbon barrels from Kentucky. So
so what's been in those barrels before this beer was?
Even before the Irish whiskey was.
The wood will soak up a lot of those flavor characteristics.
Right.
If you look at some of the beers that are available around here, like Hidden Cove is one of the local Maine breweries that does this a lot. They'll age a beer in some old whiskey barrels or bourbon barrels or whatever, and then they'll turn around and age another beer in those barrels after the first beer, and then that beer picks up characteristics from everything that's been in those barrels before, because the wood really retains that and then passes it on. But this is really, like I said, it's kind of a beered up whiskey flavor for me.
It does.
I'm not getting any particular notes from the hops or from the malt.
But as far as the flavor goes, it's actually pretty good.
It was good.
A lot of the other beers that I've tried that were whiskey aged or aged with staves or even in the barrel, they have a real harsh whiskey flavor.
And this is pretty subtle. It's kind of
this one's more subtle and mellowed out.
This is almost like the perfect marriage between whiskey and beer.
Right. And in some of those other beer characteristics, there might have been also the malt. That was kind of the malt of the beer actually might not have melded well with the whiskey flavor, but this one really does.
And it's got a really
you can kind of taste that there is a malt flavor to it. It's not hoppy, and really it's not really a bad beer.
No, it's got a really nice medium mouthfeel that's making it easy to drink too.
I would give it a 4 out of whiskey for barrel aged beer.
I think I'm going to hit this with a 4.5, just because of the overall flavor profile and the fact that I'm liking it so much, and it's such a great blend between whiskey and beer that it's just coming off really, really well. So that's just our opinion. 4.5 and a 4.
We welcome yours.
Not everybody knows who Fred Nutter was. Just for the record.
You remember him?
Yes. This is a Channel 2 editorial That's our opinion.
We welcome yours.
Yes, Mr. Fred Nutter.
Yep, that's true. Well, that was just for you to know. It was Channel 2 WLBZ out of Bangor, and WCSH out of Portland, Maine. It was just one guy that he just went on, did an editorial about different things, and he just said that all the time. He always closed it out with, "That's our opinion. We welcome yours."
So anyway, if you agree or disagree, hit us up down in the comments and the email link down below. Let us know what you think of this beer. Love to hear from you. I'll also put a user poll up over here. Click on that. It'll give you a chance to rate the beer 1 through 5. Unfortunately, I can't do the half ratings on YouTube. I only get 5 options, but it'll still give you a chance to give some good feedback on it. Until next time, folks. I think that sums it up. Cheers.
Keep drinking. That means it was good.
Second time around, too?
Yep.
Awesome.